Have you ever felt the sting of silence when someone you cherish suddenly drifts away, leaving you wondering what went wrong? In this video, we'll explore how the timeless wisdom of Stoicism can help you reclaim your power when faced with distancing or rejection. We'll dive into 7 proactive strategies from investing in your inner growth and embracing detachment to harnessing the transformative power of silence that empower you to build an unshakable sense of self-worth. Whether you're dealing with a cooling friendship, a fading romance, or any relationship that seems to have lost its spark, get ready to discover practical, real-life insights and inspiring stories that will guide you toward a life defined by authenticity and inner strength. Imagine this: one day, you're the center of someone's world. The next, you're left wondering where you went wrong as the person gradually withdraws. That sudden silence, the absence of the familiar spark, can feel as if you've been left chasing the wind, efforts to capture fleeting attention only to be met with indifference. In these moments, it's natural to feel a deep sense of loss, confusion, or even betrayal. Yet, according to Stoic philosophy, the true challenge lies not in the distancing of others, but in how we choose to respond. I recall a friend of mine, let's call her Maya, who once experienced this very scenario. Maya was deeply invested in a friendship that seemed to flourish effortlessly until, without warning, her friend began to pull back. Initially, Maya spiraled into self-doubt, analyzing every interaction and obsessively searching for hidden meanings in silences and missed messages. It took her a while to realize that her self-worth was not dictated by someone else's capacity to reciprocate her energy. Like many of us, she had unknowingly allowed her value to be tethered to external validation. A cornerstone of Stoic thought is the idea that our self-worth is an internal asset. It is defined by our values, our actions, and the way we choose to navigate life, not by the opinions or attention of others. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that it is not the opinions of others that disturb us, but our opinions of those opinions. This idea is liberating because it shifts the locus of control from the unpredictable behavior of others to the steady, resolute nature of our own inner character. When you find yourself in a situation where someone's attention fades, consider this a pivotal moment for self-reflection rather than a personal failing. Instead of pouring your energy into chasing validation, channel it inward. Ask yourself, what do I value? What aspects of my life truly bring meaning and fulfillment? By focusing on the components within your control, your actions, your habits, your personal growth, you establish a foundation of self-respect that remains unshaken, regardless of external circumstances. For instance, think about the time you pursued a personal passion or hobby without worrying about whether it impressed anyone else. That intrinsic joy, unencumbered by the need for external approval, is the very essence of Stoic self-sufficiency. One of the most draining responses to feeling abandoned is the relentless chase to regain someone's attention. Yet, as Stoicism teaches, chasing after another person for validation only cedes control over your emotional well-being. Consider the analogy of trying to grasp smoke. The tighter you try to hold on, the more elusive it becomes. By continuously striving to capture someone's approval, you end up expending precious energy that could be invested in personal growth and self-improvement. Let's return to Maya's story. Initially, she spent countless hours analyzing text messages, overthinking every nuance of her friend's silence. This pursuit only left her exhausted and less attuned to her own needs. Once Maya made the courageous decision to shift her focus inward, embracing hobbies she had long neglected, reconnecting with old passions, and setting clear personal goals, she discovered that her emotional energy could be better used to build a more fulfilling life. Not only did she find greater joy in her own pursuits, but she also became a beacon of positive energy, naturally drawing the attention of those who valued her authenticity. Detachment, in the Stoic sense, is not about becoming indifferent or uncaring. It's about discerning what lies within your control and what does not. Epictetus famously said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." When someone starts distancing themselves, your immediate reaction might be to pursue them in hopes of mending the connection. However, a more measured Stoic response involves stepping back and allowing yourself the space to reflect on your own values and desires. Imagine you're at a social gathering and you notice a familiar face gradually withdrawing into silence. Your first impulse might be to seek them out, trying to bridge the gap. Instead, consider the wisdom of stepping back, a deliberate act of self-care. By not immediately chasing after the missing connection, you allow both yourself and the other person time to reevaluate what truly matters. This isn't about playing games, it's about preserving your dignity and ensuring that your self-worth isn't compromised by circumstances beyond your control. I once observed a colleague, James, who was known for his calm and measured demeanor. When a close associate began to drift away without explanation, James resisted the urge to overanalyze or chase. Instead, he immersed himself in new projects and personal interests, gradually cultivating an inner strength that not only uplifted him, but also subtly reminded others of his inherent value. Over time, those who had taken his presence for granted began to recognize the quiet power of his self-possession. In our hyper-connected world, silence is often seen as a void to be quickly filled with noise. Yet, in the context of personal relationships and self-growth, silence can be a powerful tool, a deliberate pause that communicates strength, reflection, and clarity. Stoic philosophers understood that sometimes the most effective response is to hold one's tongue and let actions speak for themselves. Consider silence not as an absence, but as a strategic space that invites introspection. When you choose silence over reactive words, you are declaring that your emotional well-being does not depend on external validation. This measured quietness can also serve as a mirror, reflecting back to others the impact of their withdrawal. It's not about withholding communication as a form of punishment, but about creating a healthy space where both parties can reassess their values and the true nature of their connection. A vivid example of this in action comes from a personal experience during a challenging period in my early career. I had a mentor who, after a period of intense collaboration, suddenly became less available. Instead of bombarding them with messages or trying to force an explanation, I embraced silence. I continued focusing on my projects, dedicating time to self-reflection and deepening my understanding of my own capabilities. Over time, the quality of my work improved, and my mentor eventually re-engaged with a renewed sense of respect for the professional I had become. In that silence, I found not only clarity, but also a powerful reaffirmation of my own worth. Perhaps the most transformative strategy is to redirect your energy into cultivating the best version of yourself. When you invest in your own growth, whether through learning new skills, pursuing long-held passions, or simply taking time to nurture your mental and emotional well-being, you signal to the world that your happiness does not depend on someone else's approval. This journey toward self-improvement is deeply rooted in the Stoic ideal of self-sufficiency. Take a moment to reflect on your life's narrative. How often have you postponed your dreams or sidelined your interests in hopes of gaining someone's recognition? The Stoics believed that true contentment stems from within, and that every setback is an opportunity to realign with one's core values. By choosing to focus on your own development, you not only enhance your self-esteem but also create an irresistible magnetism that naturally attracts positive relationships. For instance, consider a story about an individual named Carlos who found himself repeatedly overlooked in both his professional and personal life. Instead of succumbing to the frustration of being undervalued, Carlos decided to invest in his passions. He enrolled in courses, developed a fitness routine, and reconnected with old friends who shared his interests. Gradually, Carlos's renewed confidence and vibrant energy began to shift the dynamics around him. Not only did he excel in his career, but he also found that the people who had once distanced themselves were now drawn to his newfound zest for life. Carlos's journey underscores a crucial lesson: when you live fully for yourself, you inherently become the prize. There comes a point in life when you must decide to take charge of your own story. No longer should you be a supporting character in someone else's narrative. Instead, embrace the role of the protagonist, one who writes their own destiny with intention, courage, and authenticity. This is the essence of living as the prize. Reclaiming your narrative starts with a clear vision of who you aspire to be. Reflect on the values that matter most to you: integrity, resilience, creativity, and compassion, and let these guide your choices. When you set boundaries that honor your true self, you send a powerful message: your worth is defined not by others' fleeting opinions, but by your unwavering commitment to your own growth. I once met a remarkable individual named Lila who transformed her life by shifting her focus entirely inward. For years, Lila had been caught up in trying to please those around her, often at the expense of her own dreams. When she finally recognized that her happiness was in her own hands, she began to say no to commitments that didn't align with her core values. She embraced new challenges, learning a musical instrument, taking a solo trip, and even launching a small creative business. The transformation was profound. Lila's self-assurance radiated in every interaction, and those who had once overlooked her presence soon came to appreciate the depth and authenticity of her renewed spirit. With these insights in mind, here are some practical steps you can take to reclaim your emotional sovereignty and start writing your own success story. Set clear boundaries. Begin by examining your relationships and identifying where you may have compromised too much of yourself. Setting boundaries is not about pushing people away. It's about protecting your energy and ensuring that your interactions are mutually respectful. Write down your non-negotiables and practice communicating them with calm clarity. Invest in your passions. Revisit activities that once ignited your creativity and joy. Whether it's painting, writing, hiking, or learning a new language, immerse yourself in pursuits that enrich your soul. As you grow more engaged in your own interests, you'll find that your sense of self-worth becomes less dependent on external validation. Embrace the power of silence. When faced with emotional turbulence, take a step back and allow silence to do its work. Use this time for reflection, meditation, or journaling. Understand that silence is a powerful statement, one that underscores your commitment to self-respect and thoughtful response over knee-jerk reactions. Cultivate inner peace. Develop daily practices that fortify your inner resilience. This might include mindfulness exercises, physical activity, or even simply setting aside moments of quiet in your day. Remember that inner peace is a shield against the inevitable fluctuations of external events. Realign with your values. take a hard look at your current life script. What parts have been influenced by others' expectations rather than your own desires? Challenge yourself to identify areas where you can inject authenticity. This might involve making tough decisions like turning down invitations or reprioritizing your schedule to focus on what truly matters. Learn from Stoic masters, immerse yourself in the writings of Stoic philosophers, reflect on their timeless wisdom, and consider how their insights can be woven into the fabric of your daily life. When faced with challenges, remember Marcus Aurelius's advice to waste no time arguing about what a good man should be. One. Become the protagonist. Finally, shift your perspective. You are not defined by someone else's recognition of your value. You are the author of your own story. Embrace opportunities that push you out of your comfort zone. Celebrate your unique journey, and let your actions rooted in your deepest values be the narrative that guides you forward. Throughout my own journey of self-discovery, I've encountered moments where it seemed as if the very people I cared about were drifting away. In those instances, the temptation to chase after them was strong, but I found solace in the teachings of Stoicism. I learned that when I directed my energy inward, nurturing my passions, refining my goals, and fortifying my inner peace, I not only reclaimed my sense of worth, but also became a source of inspiration to others. I remember one particularly challenging period when a close friend began to distance herself without explanation. I could have easily spiraled into self-doubt, wondering what I had done wrong. Instead, I took a step back and decided to invest in my personal growth. I picked up reading more philosophical works, engaged in reflective journaling, and even took up a new hobby that had always intrigued me. Over time, I discovered that my happiness and fulfillment were not tethered to her validation. In fact, as I became more absorbed in my own journey, I found that our relationship gradually transformed into one of mutual respect rather than dependency. This experience taught me that sometimes the space created by another's silence can be a fertile ground for profound personal growth. Before we close this extensive reflection, let's summarize the key lessons learned from applying Stoic philosophy. When someone distances themselves, focus on what you can control. Recognize that your self-worth is defined internally. The opinions and actions of others are beyond your control. By anchoring your value in your own principles, you reclaim your power. Avoid the energy drain of chasing. Chasing someone's attention only diverts your energy from your own personal development. Instead, invest that energy in pursuits that elevate your self-esteem and bring lasting fulfillment. Embrace detachment with dignity. Detachment isn't about emotional indifference. It's about cultivating a measured response to external events. Allow yourself the space to reflect and grow rather than reacting impulsively. Use silence as a strategic tool. Silence can speak volumes. It creates space for introspection and sends a clear message that your inner peace is non-negotiable. Practice silence as an active choice rather than a passive retreat. Invest in personal growth. When you invest in your own passions, hobbies, and interests, you naturally cultivate an aura of self-sufficiency and confidence. This not only enriches your life, but also makes you naturally attractive to those who value authenticity. Reclaim your narrative. You are the protagonist of your own life story. Shift from being reactive to being proactive. Define your own path, set boundaries, and make decisions that align with your core values. Live as though you are the prize. Ultimately, the most powerful statement you can make is to live a life that reflects your inherent worth. By focusing on self-improvement and remaining true to your values, you radiate an inner strength that commands respect and admiration. The journey of dealing with distancing or rejection is not easy. It requires introspection, courage, and a willingness to turn adversity into an opportunity for growth. Stoic philosophy offers a robust framework for this transformation by reminding us that our true power lies in our responses. When you stop chasing and begin investing in yourself, you embark on a path toward inner peace and self-empowerment that not only changes how you see yourself, but also alters how others perceive you. Each of us has the capacity to become our own source of validation. As you read these words and reflect on your own experiences, I invite you to embrace the notion that your value is inherent, unshakable, and entirely within your control. Let the wisdom of Stoic masters guide you to a state of calm resilience, and know that every challenge is simply a stepping stone on the path to your fullest potential. So, whether you're facing a cooling friendship, a distant relationship, or a personal setback, remember that the true victory lies in how you respond. Invest in yourself, practice the art of thoughtful silence, and reclaim your narrative with authenticity and grace. In doing so, you not only preserve your inner sanctum, but also light the way for others who are searching for their own path to self-discovery. May your journey be filled with self-respect, inner strength, and the unwavering belief that you are, indeed, the prize in your own life story. To encapsulate our journey, start by understanding that external validation is fleeting. Your self-worth should be grounded in your own values and not in the shifting opinions of others. Redirect your energy from chasing to growing. Channel your efforts into building a fulfilling life, one that reflects your passions, values, and aspirations. Practice emotional detachment and embrace silence. These are not acts of coldness, but of self-preservation and thoughtful engagement with life. Invest in personal growth. Every new skill, every hobby, every moment of introspection adds to the mosaic of your inner strength. Reclaim your narrative. You are the author of your life. Set boundaries, honor your dreams, and never let anyone else dictate your worth. By living with these principles in mind, you transform moments of rejection into catalysts for personal evolution. You become the architect of your destiny, a testament to the enduring power of Stoic wisdom. In the end, let your actions grounded in self-respect and genuine personal growth be the loudest declaration of your worth. Embrace the challenges, learn from every setback, and always remember that your journey towards self-discovery is as important as the destination. Stay true to yourself, and let the enduring wisdom of the Stoics guide you toward a life of fulfillment and unwavering inner peace. Thank you for joining us on this journey to transform emotional setbacks into opportunities for growth. If these Stoic strategies resonated with you, imagine what more there is to explore. Click on the next video to dive even deeper into the art of self-mastery and learn additional tools to fortify your inner resilience. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts. Your journey towards a richer, more empowered life is just beginning. Stay tuned, keep living wisely, and we'll see you in the next video.